Welcome back to Character Conversions, where I try to bring fictional characters to life in D&D. If Alucard is the secret weapon of Hellsing, and Anderson is the secret weapon of the Iscariot, then the secret weapon of Millennium is the Captain. For stats, we'll be using the standard array for the player's handbook. Our strength will be 15, we're strong, and most of our stat bumps will be going elsewhere, so we should start with this as high as we can. Dexterity will be 13, we are also quite fast on our feet, and we fight without armor. Constitution will be 14, we're durable enough to effectively trade blows with vampires. Our intelligence will be 10, our wisdom will be 12, and our charisma will be 8. We are mute, so there are not a lot of examples of our mental faculties other than the fact that we wanted to die fighting. For race, we'll be going with the Shifter from Eberron Rising from the Last War, specifically the Beasthide Shifter. This is a good starting point for playing as a lycanthrope. Now, Beasthide Shifters are typically tied to bears or boar, but any creature known for toughness could apply. Given how big the captain looks during his hallway fight scene, I'm going to say we're tied to a direwolf and leave it at that. This grants us a +1 to our dexterity, raising it to a 14, and a +2 to our constitution, raising it to a 16. We have dark vision out to 60 feet, keen senses gives us proficiency with perception skill, and tough gives us proficiency with the athletics skill. Finally, shifting allows us to once per short or long rest assume a more bestial form for 1 minute. When we shift, we gain temporary hit points equal to our level plus our constitution modifier, and because we are a Beasthide, we gain an additional 1d6 temporary hit points, and our AC is increased by +1. For our background, we're a soldier, probably in the Red Mages of Fae's army or some other fantasy equivalent for the source material. This gives us proficiency with intimidation and athletics, but because we already have proficiency with athletics, we can trade it for acrobatics instead. We have some pretty good balance. We gain proficiency with a gaming set and with land vehicles. Choose whatever gaming set you find interesting for your campaign. Our military rank is clearly officer, and this means that the soldiers loyal to our military organization will recognize our authority. For class, we'll be going with Barbarian. I think it's fair to say the captain probably is the quiet, seething rage type of Barbarian. We have a d12 hit die, proficiency with strength and constitution saves. For skills, we'll pick up nature and survival, because we have already got the important skills we might use from our race and background. First level grants us Rage class feature, allowing us to 2 times per long rest release our primal ferocity for 1 minute. This gives us advantage on strength checks and saves, a +2 bonus to damage, and resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. Finally, Unarmored Defense makes our AC equal to 10 plus our dexterity modifier plus our constitution modifier. Now we can fight shirtless if the urge takes us. Second level grants us Reckless Attack, allowing us to make all attacks with advantage, but attacks against us will have advantage until our next turn. We also gain Danger Sense, making it so we have advantage on dexterity saving throws against effects that we can see, such as traps and spells. Without sacrificing other parts of the build, we can't really gain the captain's ability to go spectral while fighting, so I'll be using this to represent his ability to dodge and avoid attacks instead. At third level, we choose our Primal Path, and for Hans, we'll be going with Path of the Beast. This gives us the Form of the Beast ability. Now when we rage, we transform and gain either a bite, claw, or tail attack. We can choose which one each time we rage, and each one has its own benefits. We will most likely primarily use claws, giving us a d6 slashing attack. When we use the attack action to attack with a claw, we get an additional claw attack as part of the same action. In addition, we can use rage 3 times a day now. At 4th level, we gain an ability score improvement. We will trade this for a feat. Any feat that increases strength will probably work, but for theme, I'll be going with Tavern Brawler. This increases our strength by +1, gives us a d4 unarmed strike, and proficiency with improvised weapons. Also, when we hit a creature with an unarmed strike or an improvised weapon, we can use a bonus action to attempt to grapple the target. Now we can continue to fight unarmed even when we are not raging. At 5th level, we gain extra attack, allowing us to make an additional attack when we take the attack action, meaning when raging and using our claws, we can make 3 attacks a round. We also gain fast movement, increasing our speed by 10 feet while not wearing heavy armor. 6th level, Path of the Beast grants us Bestial Soul. Now our natural weapons from Form of the Beast count as magical for overcoming resistance and immunity. In addition, we can alter our form to adapt to our surroundings when we finish a short or long rest. We can choose to either gain a swimming speed equal to our walking speed and the ability to breathe underwater, gain a climbing speed equal to our walking speed, or the ability to extend our jump distance by making an athletics check and increasing the distance by the check's total. Finally, we are able to rage 4 times a day now. 7th level sees us gaining Feral Instinct. We now have advantage on initiative rolls, and in addition, if we are surprised at the beginning of combat and aren't incapacitated, we can act normally on our first turn, but only if we enter our rage before doing anything else. 8th level is another ability score improvement. We will put it in our constitution, raising it to an 18. At 9th level, we gain Brutal Critical, giving us an additional damage die when we score a critical hit. In addition, our bonus damage from Rage increases to +3. At 10th level, Path of the Beast grants us Infectious Fury. Now while raging, when we strike a creature with our natural weapons, we can make the target make a Wisdom saving throw with a dice check equal to 8 plus our Constitution modifier plus our proficiency bonus, or either be forced to use their reaction to make a melee attack against another creature of our choice, or take 2d12 psychic damage. We can use this feature a number of times equal to our proficiency bonus per long rest. At 11th level, we gain Relentless Rage. Now if we drop to 0 hit points while raging and don't die outright, we can make a dice check 10 Constitution save and drop to 1 hit point instead. Each time we use this feature after the first, the dice check increases by 5. With our high Constitution and a d12 hit die, we should be pretty hard to put down in a fight. 12th level is our next ability score improvement. We'll put this one in our Constitution as well, capping it off at 20. In addition, we are now able to rage 5 times a day. Our 13th level is a brief one. Brutal Critical improves, now adding 2 additional die of damage when we score a critical hit. 14th level, Path of the Beast, gives us Call of the Hunt. A number of times per long rest when we enter a rage, we can choose a number of other willing creatures we can see within 30 feet of us equal to our Constitution modifier. We gain 5 temporary hit points for each creature that accepts this feature, and until the rage ends, when the chosen creature hits a target with an attack, once per turn they can roll a d6 and add it to their damage. This is why we are the commander. Not only can we kick ass, we inspire our soldiers to kick ass as well. 15th level, we gain Persistent Rage. Now our rage is so fierce that it ends early only if we fall unconscious or if we choose to end it. Should be pretty useful if we want to change the attack from our form of the beast mid-combat. 16th level is an additional ability score improvement. We will increase our dexterity to 16 to further increase our AC. In addition, our bonus to damage while raging increases to +4. At 17th level, our Brutal Critical increases for the final time, now adding 3 additional die of damage when we score a critical hit. Finally, we can now rage a total of 6 times a day. 18th level is another brief one. We gain Indomitable Might. Now, if our total for a strength check is less than our strength score, we can use that score in place of the total, meaning our minimum for any strength-related skill check is now 16. At 19th level, we gain our final ability score improvement. We'll be increasing our dexterity to 18. 20th level sees us gaining Primal Champion. Our strength and constitution scores are increased by 4 each, and the maximum for their scores becomes 24. This makes our strength 20 and our constitution 24. Finally, we can now rage an unlimited amount of times per day. End result sees us rocking a 21 AC, 22 if we are in a shifting form, we have 256 hit points, and while raging with our claws, we can dish out 12 damage a hit with an average of 37 damage a round. 48 if we get just 1 critical, which we should be getting a lot of with our reckless attacks. We have effectively double hit points against any slashing, bludgeoning, or piercing weapons, and even if brought down to 0 hit points, we should be able to reliably activate our Relentless Rage at least 3 times if we are lucky. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, comment your opinions or suggestions for new builds. I hope all your 20s are natural. See you next time.